So these are the grandchildren walking over. That's George P. Bush there. And it's a little hard to see in the sunlight. I believe that's Neil's daughter, Ashley, and her husband. And then in the back, you see Pierce with the beard and his wife.
And it's truly a wonderful family, indeed. And over these past couple of days, John, we've gotten to know some of these family members a bit better. And it's such a loving, wonderful family. And you got to give, the former president and his wife, who unfortunately passed away last April, an enormous amount of credit.
President George H.W. Bush led a long, successful, and beautiful life. Whenever I was with him, I saw his absolute joy for life and true pride in his family. His accomplishments were great from beginning to end. He was a truly wonderful man and will be missed by all. I'm curious what you guys think about that statement from Donald Trump. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. As we watch the pomp and circumstance of this state-funded religious ceremony honoring a known war criminal and all-around political parasite, it's good to remind ourselves that it's mainstream government-controlled media's job, the very reason for which they exist, to deceive, divide, and distract viewers with lies, emotionalism, and outright falsehood. They're there to get you to believe down is up is down, black is white, wrong is right, in is out, day is night, and evil is good. Oh, and that evil people are to be honored. They're there to promote the ruling class and maintain in the minds of the masses the general acceptance that this is the way life is. This is the way things work, and you're not to step out of line or ask too many questions. That's why it's no surprise to find state-funded corporate media playing up and continuing to feed the idea in the minds of the masses that the ruling elite are very special people, worthy of the most expensive, most elaborate, most over-the-top funeral ceremony any human being could possibly get. All at taxpayer expense, of course. This is taken from Business Insider. Bush will be the first presidential funeral since Gerald Ford's in 2006, and the first major political funeral since more than 2,000 prominent business, media, military, and political figures gathered at the Washington National Cathedral for a ceremony to honor late warmonger Senator John McCain. Bush's state funeral will be the fourth in 3 decades. Though guided by tradition, there are a variety of options for commemoration ceremonies. Presidential funerals allow for personal touches that are decided by the presidents themselves soon after their inauguration. Business Insider also wrote, news of Bush's passing prompted an outpouring of praise and fond memories from former heads of state and world leaders. Of course it would. Birds of a feather will always flock together. Heads of states and world leaders specialize in the destruction of the working class as they continue calling their man-made written opinions laws and seek to strip people of their freedoms as they're fleecing them through the robbery process they like to call taxation. And then what do? We turn around and get swept up in the emotion of this disgusting propaganda that's designed to short-circuit our brains and keep us from thinking about what's really going on. I was in the gym today grabbing a quick workout, and of course, CNN is playing on the gym monitors. This lady was standing in between the treadmills about 5 feet from one of the TVs at the point where they're hauling the flag-draped casket off the tarmac in Maryland, and I asked her, do you think there's even anything in that box everybody's so focused on? And she looked at me kind of strange and said, well, of course. I said, how do you know? She paused for a couple seconds with a confused look, but then she said, I guess I don't. I never even thought of that. And then she kind of walked away in a daze. It was kind of weird. But that's the problem. Most people never think to even step back and ask if what they're seeing and hearing is even true. This display you're seeing is designed to keep you from seeing things the way they really are. These aren't special people who are being elevated and honored. Matter of fact, in our society, the amazing irony and disgusting reality is that those who get the most honor and praise are the least worthy of it. The people being hailed, these so-called leaders of civilized society, are the most sinister, psychopathic criminals this world could possibly produce. And when they die, if this guy did in fact die, we don't even really know that beyond what the corporate puppets have told us. But when they die, They're treated as royalty, presented as heroes, and somehow laid to rest as saints. What I think about when I see this fawning over dead world leaders and the parading of their corpses is, how much money did they have to steal from living people to put on such an elaborate show? That money could have been used to help people instead of spending it on a guy who helped harm so many with his banker-initiated policies. How many people are sitting in prison right now because of Bush's perpetuation of the failed drug war? How many families were separated by his insane violence against people who had literally committed no crime? How many veterans could have benefited from the money being spent on one of the world's eminent warmongers in chief? Tonight, as these psychopaths are warming themselves beside fires in houses built by the plunder of Americans, there are actually veterans who have no homes. There are homeless Americans sleeping in the streets.
I'm here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where temperatures are below freezing, and at night they fall into the negatives. I just had to come out and show you folks exactly why America does not have room for this caravan. Sitting behind me now are hundreds of American citizens, mothers, children, and veterans that fought for this country that are sleeping in this harsh condition. Democrats, it's time for you to get your priorities straight. This has been an ongoing problem since before President Trump. Until every American is off the streets, we do not have room for the caravan. This is America first.
These leaders will let people go homeless, but they'll spend all this money on a guy who worked a large portion of his life as a prized puppet of the sinister Zionist-controlled international banking cartel, which seeks to destroy every life but their own. Guys, leave your thoughts for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next video. Guys, thanks for watching. I create at least one new video every day. If you get something out of this content and you want to be alerted when I upload new material, subscribe to High Impact Vlogs, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Because the specter of censorship and termination looms over channels like mine, be sure to subscribe to my free private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. And if you think it's worth helping the cause of truth here on this channel, you can support my work on Patreon or PayPal, or you can grab a hard-hitting shirt from the most politically incorrect shirt store on the planet. There are over 100 kick-ass designs, and I'm adding new ones every week. All these links are in the description and in the pinned comment. Remember, don't just believe anything and keep questioning everything. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored video.